Padma. Hello. Happy Monday. Hello, Creative Results. Oh, wait a minute. That's Veronica. Is that you, Veronica? Say hi. Hi, Karen. Hi, Sheila. Hello. Hello there, Zulid. Oh, I got a little heart. Thank you. Please put your name in there so I know who's who. Thank you for joining today. This is my pet fish, Padma. I always open the show with Padma. Hi guys, happy Monday. Woohoo, who's happy for the week? Who's looking forward to the week? I am. I'm excited about the week ahead. I'm here in my daughter's room, as you can tell from the butterfly in the background, all this stuff around. I was organizing in her room, and I'm taking a lunch break, and I wanted to just chat with you guys. So glad that you all can join me again today. I hope everybody had a great weekend and is looking forward to hey, Gemma. Thank you for joining. And looking forward to a productive week. I got to tell you, last night I barely got any sleep. My daughter slept with me and she was moving. Good morning. It's afternoon here. It's lunchtime. So thank you. Always a pleasure when I show up and you guys show up. So I'm not talking to my screen. Listen, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Marjorie Phoenix. I'm the author of Who the Hell Do You Think You Are? It's a memoir about my divorce and my experience with emotional and financial abuse. You can find the book on Amazon. I'm also a speaker and a publisher. And Saturday night, I don't know if you guys were there. Hello, welcome. But it was such an awesome time, such an awesome time. I want to thank those of you that showed up for that and shared space with me. It was really beautiful. And I want to continue the conversation a little bit about that. We talked about tapping into your personal power. Oh, I know that happens sometimes. It sucks. But the replay will be there if you get cut off. But I appreciate the effort and showing up. So, we talked about tapping into your personal power. And, that's a very empowering part of the healing process. That's just an important part of all of our lives, to be able to walk in our personal power and knowing who we are. But the other part of that, which is a little bit of a touchy subject, is taking personal responsibility. And that's a tough one to talk about, especially with the women that I speak to and that I work with, women that have gone through some sort of domestic abuse, or they've gone through some sort of a trauma, maybe from divorce, right? And but I like to look at this aspect because this is a part of the healing process, and it's also a part of the building up process to empower. So I look at the healing process in zones, right? So there are 3 different zones that I look at. I look at the victim, the survivor, and then the thriver. And within all of that, it's important for you to learn self-care, self-love, and self-healing. Now, self-healing does not always have to mean something emotional. It's very much physical as well, because when you are going through a lot of stress and trauma, it weighs on your body physically. And so there's a lot that you need to be paying attention to and taking care of yourself. I say mind, body, and spirit. And I always look at things in 3 areas. Hello there. Thank you for joining. So I talked about forgiveness in the past. And Veronica also did a scope on that this morning. That was really great work, Veronica. We cannot talk enough about, no, that's all right. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming. All the way from Mexico. And Veronica talked about forgiveness. And, there's so much to forgiveness. We can talk about it all the time because no matter how much we talk about it, people still hold on to it. and they really don't know how to let it go. And it's a daily process. It really is. So we've got to always continue the conversation with that. And then, of course, on Saturday, we talked about tapping into your personal power. And when you do that, I call that zone the survivor zone. So you're feeling a little bit more confident so you can, tap into that personal power and move forward in your life. But the personal responsibility part is somewhere around the tail end of, victim and being a survivor. And this is where you sort of gain some clarity. Hey there, Veronica. I was just talking about you. I guess you missed it because I saw that you came in earlier and we were talking about forgiveness. And I know that you shared a little bit about that on your scope this morning. Really good job with that. But when you go into the survivor stage, you've gained some clarity now and the smoke has sort of cleared in your mind. Because when you're in that victim mentality, it's all about the stuff going on in your mind. You just keep replaying that story, right? So going into the personal responsibility, when you reach this point, you are now rising to a higher level of consciousness. And when I say that, what I mean is you now understand who you are in God, right? So you've become spiritually conscious, and you have now understood that you are responsible for all of your experiences. This is on you because you have free will. How you are going to respond and how you are going to react in your situation. Now, this is a very tough place, again, because you may be going through some sort of a trauma in your life right now caused by someone else. I cannot speak for everyone, but I can tell you from my personal place, I allowed someone to treat me the way that they did. And I can look back, because I've done the healing work. I can look back at the very beginning and see what I have done and what I allowed. Thank you, Veronica. And I was just going to ask, has anyone else been able to do that? Can you look back and see what you allowed into your life? And that is a tough thing, especially when you're dealing with abuse and trauma. But when you do that, what you're now doing is you're going to detach yourself. Detach yourself from this person that brought something into your life. You're detaching yourself from that. You're detaching yourself from that story. You're detaching yourself from the temper tantrums. You're detaching yourself from the lower level energy that's keeping you stuck there. There's a detachment that needs to happen. And a lot of times we don't want to detach because it's about being in this uncomfortable zone, but we're comfortable there. We like staying there. So you need to learn how to detach yourself from all of the things that keep you in that space. You're no longer looking out. That's right. That's right. You're no longer looking out. And I talked about this again on Saturday. We tend to look outside of ourselves. We're reaching around looking for security on the outside. We're reaching out and looking for something on the outside of us. You've got to start reaching within. It all starts within you. And it's not about what the other person has done to you. It is about what you are going to do next. It's always on you. So you've got to own your stuff. Now, I've had a situation recently where a family member did something to me. It was very hurtful. There was no allowing in that. Okay, I didn't allow something. Someone just did something very malicious to me. Okay? But at this point, now here is where I'm going to take personal responsibility in how I respond and how I react. When my ex-husband did what he did to me and he left me with nothing and I looked around and I sat in ruin, for a long time I sat in that space looking at everything crumbling around me. And I put it all on him. He did this, he did this, he did this. And you know what that did? That kept me stuck. That kept me stuck in that place. I would walk around in that lower level consciousness, constantly pointing my finger at him and blaming him for where I was. Yes, he did something to me. Yes, he did, and it hurt me greatly. But now just now realizing the extent of what happened since I've been watching your scopes. Wonderful. I'm glad this is bringing about an awakening for you. It is through our stories like this, Veronica, that we help open the doors for other people to understand and to see clearly what's happening with them. So, sitting there and staying stuck and blaming him, it was not going to make my life any better. So I had to rise up. I had to come to a higher level of consciousness and say, okay, this is my life. And what I do from this point forward is all on me and not on him. So that is also where tapping into your personal power and realizing that. And when, and I talked about knowing God within you, that's the foundational stuff. Once you know that, I'm telling you, once you know that, you can walk in that power so easily. So just understanding the role that you've played in your own life with everything that's happened and not pointing the finger at other people. Now, I think I talked about, yes, the weighing down of personal responsibilities. I have, yeah, I have to. There is so much work for us to do, Veronica. There is so much work for us to do. There are women that are going through it now and they don't even realize what they're going into. And so it is, because of us, when we share this information on the scopes, that they can become awakened as well and we can empower them to move forward. Because what happens is the longer we stay stuck in that, not only is it holding us down emotionally and mentally, but it is causing sickness, it's causing disease. It is actually causing us not to be our authentic selves. And we don't want that. We want to walk in our greatness and who we really are. And I want each one of us to be thrivers, not victims, not survivors, but thrivers. And this is how we do it. So doing the work, doing what it takes to dig deep, going there, looking within. Everything starts from within and then moving forward in our lives. So I hope that this has blessed you guys. And I want you to think about this. Any of you listening, and even the replay listeners, think about something that you're not taking personal responsibility for right now. I really want you to do that, because when you do that and that shift happens, you're going to feel a weight just come off of you. You're going to feel a release right away, just like unforgiveness. Unforgiveness, the same thing. It festers and it stands. That's right. God is faithful. That's right. And all of that stays in our body and it festers up and it causes sickness and disease. And that's the other part of the self-healing, where I had to realize what I needed to do to take care of myself physically, spiritually, and mentally. So think about that today in an area in your life and someone that you need to forgive, and then what do you need to take personal responsibility for at this point. Okay? Wonderful. Listen, I will be back again tomorrow, but before we leave, I want to let you know I'm doing a live drawing on September the 7th for my New Beginnings retreat here in Florida, September 25th to 27th. I have one more beautiful suite left, and I'm doing a live drawing of all the people who've read my book and done a review. I'm taking all the names from the reviews on Amazon, and I'm doing a drawing for someone to come and spend the weekend with me and several other women. That's your trip. That's right, Veronica. You did say you want to come. It's for you guys to come and spend the weekend with me and several ladies. A beautiful, intimate setting of healing and empowerment and growth. So if you want to be a part of that, you can go to Amazon. You can get the Kindle version of my book. It's a quick read and a really juicy read. Just leave a review, and I'll put you in the drawing for Monday. And if you've missed any of my other scopes, you can go to my YouTube channel at Marjorie Phoenix. So again, as always, yes, you do. I would love to have you there. Love to. So and you guys, please follow Created Results. She has some really great, and I was watching your scope yesterday about the body butter. I need some of that. So if you come, you have to bring some body butter. So again, guys, thank you again. Have a wonderful day and go out and change the world. Okay? Bye-bye.